Greetings, fellow cooks and butchers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus Elysium, episode 24, tackling our food spoilage problem. So we're looking for platinum and titanium. Do pets die if you don't give them food or water? No. They just have a bunch of stat metluses. So they are horrible in combat, but they won't actually just die on you. Weather, because I'm changing biomes here as I'm going in. So I believe this is the side cave I was referencing. No titanium and no platinum. Also, it's unfortunate timing because during the storms, even when you're in a cave, visibility drops. So, the light levels of the cave are worse than they normally would be, making it even harder to find what I'm looking for. Lucky me. Which is also why, the tinting is crazy bad right now, too. Deep red for a moment. Well, while I'm already in the cave, there's probably some platinum in this cave. Hopefully. Please. Please. I can also go through the cave out into the swamps, which I'm about to be, and check some of the swamp caves nearby. The problem is that during a storm like this, I can't put down ramps to make it easier. Because this part of the swamp is not easily traversed, as you can see. But yeah, I'll check the most local caves to where I am. See if I get lucky. This storm's just about over. There's some garlic. You can find garlic and onions and rhubarb. Those are some of the crops that we're going to find in the swamp that we wouldn't otherwise be able to find. And then the cave I want to get to is here. It's just I can't really get to it right now because the storm is just going to knock down anything I erect. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get onions and garlic and rhubarb to turn them into seeds, so I have them as a potential to be able to grow. You also can find avocado in here as well, which can be turned into vegetable oil. So it's not just... Seriously, you're shooting me from this distance? It's not just soybeans that can be turned to oil. Oh, here's Kamara. That's another veggie. And some critters I'd never interacted with before, so they get to be put into the Rolodex. The Pokedex. Alright, now that the storm's basically over, I'll be able to build that ramp. Yo! Oh, don't attack the bottom of it. Little jerk. We've got ferns. I already have onion, garlic seed, or crops for seeds, so I don't need more of that. That's ferns. Tall ferns. I'm just trying not to miss any, like, new crop types, because they blend in real good in this biome. They don't stand out at all, so they're easy to miss. Alright, you stay there. My gun is about to break, so there's a gold... I looked at this, I was like, what is that? It's just bad terrain. This cave is really hard to traverse. Oh! Come on. What are you just... Oh, drone. Oh, well there is platinum there. Pick on someone your own caliber. Hehe. Ah, fine. So you can see the desert caves in terms of sheer size. Okay, these bees are annoying. Are much, much, much smaller than the... Did I not destroy that? I swear to God I shot it. I'm just going to take the queen. One queen bee is worth, like, an enormous amount of, like, workers and honey. So if you're just to pick up one thing, because I don't want to give up 3 inventory slots necessarily, like, one queen is worth it, in my opinion. So in terms of sheer size, oh yeah, there's titanium. These caves are a lot more vast. Where's that? No, it's iron. I'm an idiot. But in terms of the quality for this, at least one, kind of blah. Got 1 plat out of it. Like, garbage. That's also because the swamp biome and the desert biome and the tundra biome are considered the easy ones in Elysium. And I would need to go to like the Arctic or the volcanic. The volcanic biome, I'd be... Where's my... Dude, where's my ride go? You just run around murdering things like a murder hobo. I love it. Thank you. The... volcanic biome would probably have hella titanium. It's just not super convenient for me to get there, but... oh, here's a platinum site. But, you know, if you're desperate, bringing one of the Tuskers, who, because they have enormous carry capacity, out to the volcanic biome might be the solution if you're really strapped for it. And not this stream, because I'm basically out of time and it's not what I'm currently working on. But in future streams, if I'm really hard up for titanium, that's not unreasonable to do. Oh, here's some avocados. So that's just about... except for rhubarb, which is right here. That is, I think, all of the... or at least most of the native fruits and veggies that you're going to be able to find in the swamps. So, swamp seed, get. Achievement, get. Now that it's no longer stormy in this cave, I might be able to find more ore on the way back. Because visibility isn't 0. Although it's becoming nighttime, so maybe I spoke too soon. What are you stuck on? What? You stub your toe? What's going on? Well, that's definitely going to be enough platinum to get my deep freezer. Let's bring this back. That cave was far less helpful than I thought it would be. So deep freeze is also going to need carbon fiber and electronics. We should probably have most, if not all, the other materials for it. So let's see if I can find a pet that has, like, oh, speaking of food and water, there goes all my food and water bonuses. Find a pet that has extremely low food and water, just as a proof that it, like, does not kill you. No, they've all been recently enough fed and watered that none of them are suffering from that. So, in terms of oil, we're just past the halfway mark. Yeah, I think if I was really going for resources, I've always found the volcanic regions to be just an abundant source, and that's where, I mean, that's where it's at. So if I was truly concerned, I would just pop down there. But it's whatever. I'm dealing with what I've got. So 10 carbon fiber. We need epoxy and aluminum for that. And then 15 electronics, which needs organic resin, which is here. So I ran out of copper. And I don't think I have enough copper here to satisfy the rest of the electronics. No, definitely not. Hey, Tusk. So here's the platinum I needed, at least. So we're just missing the electronics. So I have 8 of 15 or so. Okay. There was a lot of copper in that cave I just exited, so I can go back there for copper, no problem. I'll just probably wait till morning for visibility bonus. Dog treats. Hey, one treat? Right there. Just jump up on the couch. There you go. She was like, I can't reach. It's like, just get on the couch. Like, what do you mean you can't reach? All right, copper time. Has her stomach been better? Yes. Yeah, she's a bit of a picky eater, and well, not a picky eater, but I think she ate some stuff that just didn't agree with her, like table scraps. Toddler dropped table scraps, so she had some distress for a week or two. some real bad distress and then like minor distress. It was really bad and I thought I was going to have to go to the vet, but then I realized it was probably just constipation, so I gave her some like constipation meds and a lot of her worst issues went away, and then I started adding just a lot more fiber to her daily diet, and she's been fine ever since. One of those, we probably all could get a little bit more fiber in our diets, right? Yep, I've been doing canned pumpkin. Exactly, Malriver. And then for the coat, a little bit of like olive oil. And what also helps is like, my dogs, Echo and Tusker, are like a little picky about what they eat. And canned pumpkin might not be great for their teeth, but like it helps to entice them to eat more. Because otherwise they'll like turn their nose up at like their dog food, hoping to get table scraps for my toddler. But that's a real problem because Echo has a horrible poultry allergy. So anytime we have chicken for dinner or lunch or whatever, it is a real risk that Echo gets dropped. Did you run out there? Where? No, you're behind me. Echo gets table scraps that like will cause skin allergies. Because her allergies manifest in skin issues, not in like anaphylaxis or anything like that. Long rot. That's another thing to consider when building a kitchenette, is once you have the means to grow a wide variety of crop, growing things that you need for daily medicine as well, which is typically, some of it isn't grown. A lot of medicine requires salt and charcoal, but you know, we have... Oh, you guys want to fight? All right, come on, gather around. Group up. Let's do this efficiently. You two. You two. Come hither. Come on. You're dead. God, that's fun. You had a cat that was allergic to fleas? Echo's also allergic to dust mites, and grass, and cats, and chicken. She was almost allergic to almost everything that we tested her for, meaning that she was like allergic to being pricked. But that wasn't the case, because she didn't test positive for like just the pricks alone. But then the severity for things like chicken was a lot higher. Chicken and cats were a lot higher than like dust mites. Yep, it's not fun to have a dog allergic to basically life, but you know, that's the way it is. So, we almost have the deep freezer going, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it like here, and then put the kitchenette this way, replacing the campfire. And I'll probably put the campfire like above me or something so that I can fall asleep with a campfire bonus, but have it, you know, not be on the floor, because that can burn your youngins. Oh, Goochus. Get out of here. And oil's up to almost 100k out of 150 that we need. Now, even if we got the 100k, if you're one, or the 150k, the polymizer requires 20 titanium plates, which is a mind-numbing amount of titanium. So we are still like, if I went over time, I would be nowhere near the amount of required resources to get over the goalpost there. So it's not like oh, just one more turn type of situation. It's I'm leagues away from being able to afford this. Yeah. Now I know the berries can be harvested right now, but I don't want to. Certain foods like the berries rot super fast, so it's best for me to just wait for my deep freezer to be done, and then I can harvest the berries and they won't just disappear Yo, you weren't invited up here. In fact, I don't have any babies in the colony, so, like, you can leave. I'm pulling up these beds. Because, Timber wandered in to sit on the beds. The reason I don't want animals in the house isn't just me being, like, annoying. It's that the animals themselves will, like, stand in the doorways and block you. And, that is, obnoxious. And I could double door it, but I just... It's easy enough to just tell them not to come in. Alright, so 3 more electronics. Getting pretty close. Having doors on the 2nd floor that I open up to shoot out of super reminds me of playing Rust. Well, in Rust it'd be more like the 3rd story or whatever, so that people couldn't use, like, human pyramid tactics to breach, but, yeah, same diff. Alright, deep freezer requires a lot of power, 2,500. But it's gonna solve a lot of our, like, I'm out of food problems, because our food won't spoil as much. The only concern is, you gotta make sure that it's sheltered, because, like, if you have all of your precious food in here right next to a door that, like, remains open or whatever, you could lose your food pretty easily, so just fair warning. Make sure that it does not possibly spoil because of, or where you lose all your, straight lines, where you lose all your food because you, like, left a door open or whatever. But now that we have one of those, everything we don't want to spoil, shoved in there. And then, I'm gonna put the animal... Oh, what else? I'm gonna put the spoiled food in there just because I want to move this kitchen. So the cooking station has become obsolete. But it's a temporary storage for now, so I'm just gonna put it in the middle of the room here, knowing that I'm gonna move it. Did I play Isle of Rust? Yes, but, like, not recently. Like, decade plus ago. Long time ago. So now that we have a deep freezer, the next thing I want to do is probably get the marble bench. So, build kitchen. This will be next. So that's 2 composites. That's pretty cheap. Of which I have no iron ore for. For real? I used all my iron ore up. Oh, okay. But yeah, you would want to pair this with the ability to actually cook interesting things. Other things to make is the smoker. So that I have the materials for, I think. 15 concrete. So I just need some silica for the concrete. And this, one of the advantages of, so a lot of the primed smoked meat I don't bother with, and the reason for that is because the experience bonuses are lost when you smoke prime meat. But there are some recipes that you can only do on a smoker which are good, like honey smoked bacon, or some of the fruits can be smoked into chips. And those recipes, things that go through a smoker, the advantage is the smoked meats and fruits don't spoil very quickly. So if you don't want to run around with, like, a refrigerated backpack, which I don't run around with one, because usually you eat an item before it decays off the stack, you can instead, especially if you don't care about experience, rely on smoked foods, which don't decay very quickly. So, like, a single piece of prime meat might decay in 20 minutes, and a single piece of smoked meat will decay in like 2 hours. So if you have a bunch of talents which lower the amount that you have to eat regularly, smoked stuff is probably for you. So 15, 20 steel screws. So here's 100. And then charcoal, which is in here. Only need 50. The fuel for a smoker is charcoal, though. So you will need charcoal just as like fuel source for the smoker. Which is whatever. And then the only thing left is iron ingots, which we have in here. Oh, one more iron ingot. I'll just grab the whole stack. Alright, sweet. Done and done. I think I'm going to move my bedroll. So I could put the smoker more like... I'm going to reconfigure things a bit. So that like all my kitchen stuff is next to one another. So I'll put the oxidizer here. And for now, just because I don't have a better space for it, I'll put the bedroll over there. Just so this entire section can be only kitchen stuff and nothing else. There. That's totally normal. Keeping it off the ground at least will keep the animals from getting burnt up from it. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Spawn point. Alright, smoker time. I'll put the smoker here. And let's start making something out of it. So, I am going to process some of my honey. Let's say 100 of it. And that will also be for the honey mead, too. Alright, if I need more composite paste, I'll need oxite and iron. So... the honey smoked bacon has food effects duration, which is why I really like it, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's just bacon and honey. So we have the bacon. We're processing the honey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some iron from one of the local caves so that we can make composite paste for the kitchen and the stove and the rest of the kitchen items. Start checking off things on that list. Can smoked meat be salted? No, it can either be salted or smoked. Not both. So you gotta pick a path. And I generally don't salt stuff. Salting stuff would be like... if you didn't have a freezer and like wanted to like low tier preserve it, in my opinion. There aren't... there are some salted fish recipes which like provide some decent bonuses. Well, actually, that just might be saltwater fish. Yeah, I don't know if there's any salted stuff that I would say is, like, unskippable. In my opinion. Which is, referencing this preserved food salting station. I generally don't even bother, because, like, it's easy enough to just get a freezer and not have to worry about salt preservation. Where am I going? This way. But yeah, generally, for most produced goods, like especially for like the food in this game, it's like you can do smoking, cooking, or salting, but not like multiple of those. You have to pick one. Pick a lane. Come on. Leave me waiting. Yeah, it gives, the salt gives extra rot time, exactly. Which is obsolete when you have a deep freezer. Maybe I said it wrong, but yeah, once you have a deep freezer, it's like the low-tech deep freeze. You skipped it because you can never find enough salt to use it. Yeah, that's another fair point. Like, I happen to have a ton of salt around me, around my base, but that's all partially because I'm in the desert, and it probably just has a higher spawn rate in the desert. And partially because I never mined out the salt around my base, and then I thumped. So all the salt that was never mined is still there, and then the second replenishment of the thumper then put even more salt around me. Meaning I have like an abnormal amount of salt around my base just because I've been essentially designing it that way, or caused it to happen that way. But on my own, I almost exclusively use salt for like medicinal purposes and not for food purposes, which is kind of funny because, you know, in real life it's like, no, I suppose I do like neti pot, which is salt and baking powder, baking soda rather, not baking powder. Oh my god, ew. Who are you killing up there? Whoa! I like how there's like no frame here, but it's retaining the sand. It was like a deadfall trap. It totally got me too. I thought it would hold my weight. I walked right through it. Oh, there's a guard tower. It's funny, like, I consider guard towers in this game as just like a source of beer. So what is it good for? I don't know. Beer. Killing them for beer. So I think a decent stopping point would be for me to enjoy my first honey bacon and honey mead. So that's what I'm working towards now. So here's a whole bunch of iron. And then organic resin. I never got the oxide, so that's my bad, but we need 2 of these only. I'm going to just put all the iron in there. Oh, yeah, stop the honey for a second. Oh, you can... Oh, it's going. So, I am making the marble kitchen bench, 2 composites, 20 aluminum. It's also not made of marble. 100 stone and 10 concrete mix. I am out of silica, but I have a bunch of silica in here. Also might move the deep freezer. We'll see how it all fits in. All right. Here's the marble kitchen bench. And let's grab the water pipe tool for that as well. So these kitchen benches snap together. And what I'd like to do is just line them all up in a row on the corner here. So I just have like this, the stove, the sink, and then the medicine station maybe, if there's room. Putting it all together. So let's plumb this. All plumbed up. And now it's time to celebrate all of our hard work with some hard-earned yummy food. So in the smoker goes charcoal as a fuel, and then honey. And we will make a batch of smoked bacon. So there's 10. We could also make crispy bacon too. Don't worry, I didn't forget. And then for the other honey, we have honey mead. So that's honey, wild berries, and yeast. So grab this honey and harvest the wild berries and yeast. Now that I have a freezer, this stuff won't go to waste. The reason I didn't grow it up until now is because wild berries would spoil really quickly. And we need bottles from the... There we go. And now, honey mead. Only have enough honey for 2, but obviously we're processing more honey over in the hives. And I can put the rest of the bottles in there as a storage spot, and the yeast as a storage spot, and then put the berries away. And put the honey in here as well. Okay, let's move some bees into that thing. I don't have the breeding center yet. I mean, I could afford it, I just haven't been bothering to. Pull out the honey. Honey takes a while to process, and yeah, there's like upgrades to be able to make it on the beehive automatically, which is efficient. But, you know, this way is good, fine for now. Yeah, let's make one more. The advantage of the mead is it doesn't go bad. There's no rot timer on it, which is super convenient. If you have beer or mead or any alcohols in your inventory, it just stays good forever. And it also can be consumed for water, which might be a bit of a lifesaver too. And here's our smoked bacon. So now we are going to eat honey mead, smoked bacon, regular bacon, white meat, and stringy meat. That is my diet. And the advantage is look at the length that the food lasts. The bacons are lasting almost 40 minutes. The meat is lasting 33 minutes. And this is because the smoked bacon and the mead are giving me food effect duration bonuses. And then I also have talent points in that as well as my stomach mod. So food effect durations here is 100%. I've doubled it from all the different stat bonuses I have through the survival tree. Where is it? Here, 20% there. And then the stomach mod on here, 20%. And then 20% there and 30% there. So food lasts a very long time, which is great. Super, super, super convenient. So I'm not constantly voraciously chipping away at my food supply. Because, you know, if you spend a lot of time constantly resupplying yourself with food, that's time maybe better spent doing other more useful things. And that's the start of the kitchenette. And the other parts of the kitchenette that I've yet to make would be the sink. The sink itself isn't super important. It just provides a bonus for, like, sleeping, really, more than anything else. But that's pretty cheap, pretty easy to afford. Then we have the stove, which allows us to start making the more interesting recipes like crispy bacon or pastries, you know, caramel pastries, things with flour, etc., etc. And that I could afford pretty quickly as well. And then the last one is the medicine, which isn't really part of the kitchen. And that's such low-hanging fruit. You know, I could basically... I have all the materials right now for it, but I'm not going to bother at the moment. And that's so that we can make the medicine to counteract a lot of the diseases. Because in the operations that you're assigned, a lot of the times the operations will have you go rescue NPCs, and you will need to bring medicine, like blood thinners or splints or bandages for them in order to be able to do the mission. So it's important to have like a medicine station for that. But this, friends, is where I'm going to leave off for this week. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus Elysium, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow prospectors.